This is Got Off Topic.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jason.
I'm Misha. We talk about everything from Disney movies
To blowjobs.
And everything in between. Hopefully we don't offend.
We probably will.
This is
Got Off Topic.
We're back.
Cheers,
everybody.
everybody.
Did you hear that? There's a different cheers in there.
Yeah, it's not whiskey.
Not whiskey. It's a wine glass. Actually, a stemless wine glass. The newfangled type of wine glass that the women use.
Yes.
This
It's very
is
fancy.
We have a guest host today.
Yes.
Our poor Nisha is away.
She actually suggested the show go on without her.
It was her suggestion. I question that because if I ever can't make the show, this show will not be going on. So, but we'll do our best without Nisha. We do miss her because right now I'm looking across from me and it's Jay I see and not Nish. That's a little different for me.
Still pretty, though.
Still pretty, though. And I would still go. I'd probably have a better shot with you than I would with her.
Sadly, that's probably
very
true.
And
yes, sadly,
one day we'll see.
Considering what we were just talking about.
We had some show prep. We were talking about stuff.
We got it. We got in the mood.
Yeah, we might bring that up. Anyway, so our guest host, she is a longtime fan, never a listener.
She's just a fan in general of the idea of a podcast. She doesn't listen to them. She just likes them.
No, and actually she was the first to give us a review.
That's true.
5 stars.
Before we had any content out.
Yeah, before we even had content. Now, we had our Facebook page, but maybe she was just reviewing the page and not the actual
She's like, man,
show.
this page is intriguing.
And that's fine. You know, it's still 5 stars either
If
way.
they only had some recordings on here, it'd be the bomb.
Well, we do now. 18, 19 in.
This is 19,
this is
right?
show 19.
Is this 19?
This will be 19, yeah.
I was a fan of the title, the name of the group.
Got off topic?
Yeah.
Well, you'll understand.
We've
You'll
stuck-
understand what it
to
means.
that. Yeah, so Diane, she's our guest host today. I think
hello,
she'll
Diane.
be fine.
Hello.
All right.
So how's everybody doing?
I'm good. Are you excited
Diane, are you
about
good?
being here?
Are you excited about being on the show?
I'm very excited.
You have
super cool.
You have given Mike topic ideas in the past.
Yes, you have given.
Maybe we should address some of those before we go into our
That's
news
fine.
to kind of familiarize the viewer or the listener.
And I see she's probably on her second glass of wine. So
And coconut water. That shit ain't no joke.
no, that's
horrible.
not.
It's like the worst drink ever.
So I'm going to bring up some. On previous shows, we've had discussions of what may or may not be cheating.
Yes.
And I've brought up some topics that I may have heard from various listeners, mainly you, who actually weren't a listener. You were just a fan.
Just an idea.
Which is fine.
I'm the creative
either way,
department.
As long as you comment and you rate us, listen if you want or not. It doesn't matter. Just follow us.
Yes.
You get a little something more out of it if you actually listen. But so we
Possibly.
we had a show in the past where we talked about various things, whether they're cheating or not.
Yes.
At the end of the day, pretty much everything ended up, unfortunately, being cheating.
Did your wife listen to this podcast, Mike?
It's a funny thing.
But I don't want to say anything if your wife does not listen.
No. She has never listened to the show.
Okay, so I'll assume she's not going to listen.
Probably not. I'll make sure she
Mike
doesn't listen to this.
has completely different answers if you put a microphone in front of him.
No, that's
Hearsay?
That is hearsay, but that's sort of true. I wouldn't say I have different answers for everything.
Not
but
everything,
for a few.
but for certain things. So we'll get into this. So,
Okay.
What were some of the things we talked about that were cheating?
We talked about hand jobs.
Yes.
We talked about oral.
Yes.
We also talked about Skyping. Or Facebook Living, whatever the kids do now.
Can you imagine if you fucking got on a Facebook, some person's like masturbating?
Yeah.
I'm sure that
I guess it would depend on who it is.
I guess you can also you can put sexting in there. That's still a thing.
Sexting.
Yeah, sexting.
I did some of that in my day.
Yeah, I
when
think
I was
we've
young.
all been there. Before that's what it was called.
Before that's what it was called. Yes.
Sending nudes.
Yes, I've done that.
I haven't done that. So various items, and they've all come around to probably. I think we came around to it. If you can't tell your significant other about it, then it's probably
That was
cheating.
my thing. Like he was like, "Well, would a hand job be cheating?" I was like,
Yeah.
So say you were at HEB, you're checking out, and some chick's like, "Hey, you're pretty hot." Go out to the parking lot, and she gives you a hand job. He's like, yeah. Would you go home and tell your wife? Hey, honey, I got a handy in the parking lot. Well, no. Well, this is fucking cheating then.
Yeah, that's where the thing is. You can't.
But I also know people who don't consider like hand jobs or oral cheating.
Well, we also had a topic, remember, on what was more intimate, oral or intercourse.
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. And you know what? One we're about to ask.
That's very seductive how you said that, Mike. Very seductive.
Thank you. And I know in post you'll make it sound even better.
Just add a little bass to that voice.
Yeah.
Maybe a candle.
If we had a candle in here, that would be pretty nice.
We could have a seance, too. So.
Go ahead.
No. I was going to say,
yes.
Where do you stand on these things? We'll take them one by one.
Okay, one by one. The first one we brought up was oral. Is oral sex cheating?
I think that. So, and when we're talking about like if someone's married or if they're
if you're in a relationship,
any kind of relationship,
you go to a party, or as my mom says, a potty.
Yes. And Nancy,
have I sworn this
party.
episode?
We need to get together.
I was going to not swear this entire episode.
Have you sweared yet?
I don't know if I've used profanity. This is a profanity-free show for Jason because my mom keeps getting on me.
Okay.
This is for you, Nancy.
Jason's going to have a clean mouth.
I am going to try to not swear. If I do swear, I'm going to have to eat some candy. That would be my punishment.
We'll keep it clean. We will talk about fellatio and other acts. Anyway, we will keep our mouths clean.
Yes. So
try to.
Yeah, we're talking about oral sex and keeping it clean, apparently.
Well,
it's better if it's clean. I don't like dirty oral sex.
Don't drop any F-bombs.
Yeah,
you can
definitely
say,
not at the end of the day.
Dear. I'm sorry, Jason's mother. I would think that it probably is cheating. I would think so.
All right.
I mean, I think, it does boil down to what you can tell your spouse. And if you
see, that's the problem I have. If you kept that out of the equation of telling the spouse, really, what?
That's still cheating, Mike.
Well,
it's
probably is.
I mean, I guess there would be like a weird scenario. Like, let's say you were getting a massage and for some reason the masseuse decided that she wanted to take it further and you were just kind of at the mercy of this masseuse.
That has come up in a previous podcast as well.
That leads into
the mercy.
That leads into my next scenario.
That gets into the METOO movement, which we'll be addressing later.
My next scenario is a little lesser of the two evils, I guess. Instead of oral, a hand job.
See, and I feel like maybe a hand job is a little bit different. It's probably still cheating, but it's maybe less invasive. So it's maybe less of an infraction.
Well, see, that's what you brought up the masseuse earlier.
It's similar to a massage.
That's almost clinical, though.
It is. It's helpful.
I mean, it's all in the same, right? You go get a massage for
tension
relief.
Can you imagine going into a massage parlor and some chick is giving you a massage and she's like, "Well, do you want?"
They do have those.
I mean, I
really,
I can't imagine that.
Have you ever done that at a massage?
I have not done that at a massage.
Have you?
I have not, but a lady in Westlake the other day was looking for that. So,
wasn't there?
Did she find it?
No, but I was actually curious if that is an option here in Austin.
I
think under the table it might be. I don't think it's. Like, I don't think it's strictly speaking legal.
I would like to know if that's an option too in Austin.
Not me, honey.
I mean, do we need to just start doing some research? Do you just get the shittiest looking massage parlor, that's in like a strip center, or behind a Home Depot or something, and try that out? But
there was one on 290 that had acupuncture, but all the windows were blacked out. So I'm thinking maybe it wasn't acupuncture.
Blacked out for your pleasure.
Yes, I would say. So I would say if their windows are blacked out, it's in a shitty strip center, there's a lot of neon, then it's probably a good chance.
Right. And I'm wondering if the ladies offering the massage would offer that to a woman or if they only offer that to the man.
If they did, you found out after the fact, they did offer it to men, would you feel bad that they wouldn't have offered it to a female?
I do. I would feel offended.
Wait, are we talking about a female masseuse?
A female masseuse offering the happy ending to...
Would you let a female masseuse give you a happy ending?
I don't think
Because I wouldn't let a male masseuse give me a happy ending.
No. Yeah.
That's weird.
It depends on
What she looks
how...
I don't know. Have you had a massage in a while?
Drunk
I mean, I've only had
you?
one in my entire life. I don't like strangers touching me.
After that hour, you are pretty relaxed.
Yeah. It depends
I don't,
on...
I'm not going to... Nah, we'll keep it to female masseuse. All right, go on, Diane.
I already... That's a whole a whole side of Mike that he doesn't want to come out just yet.
I'm just saying, like, you go in and you pay some money, you could get the full service, like the full roundabout.
So
it's like getting your whole car detailed kind of thing.
Well, yeah, that's
You like a detailed car. I can't argue
a good way
with
of
that.
looking at it. You don't want to leave anything out.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying if someone was in a relationship, married or just dating, if they go to get a massage and that is offered and they partake in that might be okay.
I feel like that could be a loophole. I feel like you're there for tension relief and that's what you paid for and that's what you got. And
all right.
I feel like let's just relax and your partner's happier. And
Would you keep that on the down low, or would you go home and be like, I have the most amazing massage?
I wouldn't broadcast it, no.
Yeah, okay.
But I wouldn't feel guilty if that.
But I get a massage now and I don't come home and say, oh man, I had a great massage. It's just I just don't really talk about it because she knows I'm.
Do you ever get a handy at the end?
I have not gotten that yet.
Okay.
But but what if you had a massage and you got a hard on? So then, would you tell your wife, "Oh, I got super hard when I got my massage"?
That's like
oh my.
that
I got to comment on
that's
that.
an interesting question. Like, what does a masseuse do? Like, if they're not down with the handies or whatever, if, you're laying there and you just get an erection.
If you're a massage therapist or no one, please leave us a comment.
Do they get mad or do they get offended?
I would think it's
common.
I would think it's it's a good thing. You got them totally relaxed. But here's the deal. In my situation, when the massages I've ever had, that's never happened. Of course, you're so relaxed. You're in this out of body type of experience, where you're just so relaxed for an hour. But that being said, if I were to know there was probably a hand job at the end, now that may happen. I may be thinking about that the whole time. It's like, okay, has it been an hour? Because I'm ready to get to the end of this thing. And now the body may react certain ways to that. Mm-hmm. Now, and that could happen.
Your mind would take over. And
my mind would take
send
over.
Send the blood where it needs to go.
Yeah. The relaxation would be taken over by, blood flow, if you will.
Well, I've had some hot male masseuse and I've been turned on. I mean, there's nothing, they're hot and they're rubbing on me and I'm relaxed and it's a warm room with music and,
Put on the Cisco CD. All right. What was there any other ones?
Other than Skyping or Facebooking, any kind of social media type video.
That is a difficult one.
I brought up the argument when we talked about this on an earlier show that it's you watch porn. Right. If you watch porn, you're seeing a couple people going at it. They're on they're on somewhere else. Obviously, it's not live, and you're not really interacting with it. Well, you think you're interacting with it. But anyway, would Skyping,
I don't think Skyping is cheating. I feel like though that you would have to have a discussion about what is lacking in the relationship for your partner to need to do that. But I wouldn't. I mean, I would be upset, but I wouldn't be okay, you cheated and we're done. I'd be okay, why do you need to do that, and what do we need to do? That kind of situation. But I don't know that I would consider that cheating.
Here's the thing with the Skyping thing, though. You only Skype with people you know.
No, they have they have remote.
Oh, you're talking chat roulette?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's somebody that could be in Russia.
Right. Yeah, I got on there one day because I had never heard of it. And let me tell you, Mike, all you do is you click room. You can go room to room to room. Click.
This
next,
is on
next.
Skype.
Yeah. No, it's a website, chat roulette or whatever. And if you get on there, here on there years ago before. I think it might have instituted rules now or something, but all the guys are just naked, just just jerking off. Like you're like next, and then you get to a chick, and even if she's not attractive, you're just so happy that it's not a guy's dick. And then she's like, next. I'm like, you bitch! I gave you my world. So anyway,
well, see, then it sounds like that the ladies should not be upset because all you're seeing is male genitalia anyway.
Yeah.
No, this is part of the
not my worst Friday night.
Is that the dark web?
Is this the part of the dark web we talked about earlier?
No. It's just a regular website.
This is not dark web.
This is not dark web material.
You know, www.
www.chatroulette.com.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll give a review.
I think they have a new one now called Adult Chat Roulette or something like that.
Okay. Well, it's good that they separated the chat roulette with the adult chat roulette.
Yeah. I guess.
Apparently children were getting involved with this. I
hope not, but who knows?
We live in a sad world.
Like you're that guy in Iowa. Oh yeah, and then a kid pops in. Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
Now he's a pedophile.
Now he's a pedophile. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
a sad day for the man in Ohio. He just wanted to find the hot woman, and he found a 12-year-old.
Now he's labeled for life.
Labeled.
Yes. They go around to everybody's door where he lives.
They still make them do that?
I don't know. I hope not.
I don't know.
I think they have to register. But
they have to register.
If you're a pedophile, don't leave a comment. don't like us. Don't follow us. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Yeah, wrong number.
Yeah, they're probably right next door.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, Diane, thank you for joining us tonight and being our guest host in Nisha's absence. I hope you have fun doing it.
Well, thank you for
We've already
having me.
addressed topics that you've brought to us in the past, no?
Yeah, we're caught up on those topics. So we'll have other topics to cover.
Yes.
For sure. But, just getting caught up with everything else. Jay, everything going good? It's been a little while since we've seen each other, so we're catching up.
Yeah, things are good.
Everything good? We've made it further into January 2018.
We're now into almost February now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, almost February. Wow.
Life goes so quick. Like Sands for the hourglass.
Yes, I'm going to ask you
These
because
are the days of our lives.
I said it was before, and everybody was like, "What?"
We brought up on our first show this year New Year's resolutions, which none of us really had, other than you were mentioned maybe trying to go to the gym a little more, stuff like that. Has that been going okay?
I have been working out a little bit. It's hard, dude, because my job.
It is.
I work in a tire shop, so I'm like doing tires all day, and then I get off work. I either have to go early in the morning, and right now we're actually in a surprising cold spell.
It's cold again in
and I am not going outside when it's fucking 22 degrees. I just lay in bed until it's time for me to shower for work, crying because I hate the cold. And I don't like to go in the evening because then me and my wife don't get to see much of each other. So, although like you're she's passed out by like 9:30. So I could go in the evening,
and that's exactly why I go at 9:30 because the girls are asleep, so that's when I go.
Yeah.
Plus, all the goddamn New Year's resolutioners have started calming down. They don't.
It's going to be a part of my rant later.
Oh, okay, good. And I'm still looking forward to February when they're not there at all.
Yeah. What was that story you said?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's funny. On an earlier show, I mentioned, that anybody with a membership should just stop because after February, you're not going to be there anymore. Well, I actually read a story on I think it was CNN Money. And they were talking about gyms and stuff, and how people that sign up for membership for New Year's resolutions, they usually stop going after the second week of February.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, I can see that. So just stop.
Yeah, I've had my membership for like 12 years. I'll probably stop in February.
It's the fat tax.
Yeah, totally.
That's what you pay every month.
Really, though, I kind of wonder if we should just kind of like public storages where people just pay every month for shit they don't ever go to get. They just keep paying the bill.
That's what I do.
Maybe we should own a gym. People sign up for these memberships in January and various times of the year, and a month later they don't come, but they're locked in for a year or two or however long. I mean, that's genius.
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Like if we could find a big enough space, all you'd have to do is really buy the equipment and then kind of paint it out.
We know every January we're set because people are only going to come for a month.
Exactly.
And then they pay us for the rest of the year.
That's a good point.
So
a gym, and then next door we'll eventually open the bar.
We'll eventually open the bar
since I was in high school.
And
genius.
We might be opening.
And then eventually the people that were going to the gym will just go to the bar.
Yeah. Maybe a massage parlor somewhere.
And then a massage parlor in the back. And then, like, about 10 months later, there'll be a sting and we'll get shut down.
Well, see, you can't get greedy. Just do it for a little while and then close up shop. We'll make a bunch of money and then call it a day. Then we'll move to another part of town.
Well, you got this all worked out, buddy.
Well, it's...
Like gypsies or something.
Well, you have to. You've got to stay one step ahead of
Johnny Law.
Of the law.
Exactly.
Of the Smokey. So obviously I didn't have a New Year's resolution, because I had done it already last year. So I've been keeping it up, so that's good. But one of the things I complained about with going to the gym was Netflix and Amazon, and how it's hard to stay going to the gym because you have all these series you can watch, you have movies you can watch, and it's just hard to resist that. And a lot of people can't, so they just stay at home and watch these shows and catch up on everything. Well, I've been going to the gym and not catching up on shows. I watched a lot of shows before I started going back to the gym. I watched every season of Breaking Bad, Boardwalk Empire. I caught up on all that stuff.
I still have not seen that.
You haven't
Both
seen
great
Boardwalk?
shows.
So
I saw Breaking Bad, though.
So I stayed caught up on all that. Then I went back to the gym, and since I've been going back to the gym, I hadn't really watched anything. But I'm trying to make it to where I start watching stuff again. You just all in how you schedule things out. So recently, and Jay, I'm telling you this, I don't know if you've seen this or not. We're going to find this out right now. I've seen The Hateful Eight.
Ooh.
The Tarantino movie?
Yes.
I hated it. I couldn't stand it.
I
liked about the first hour of it.
And I bring this up because you and I sometimes will see eye to eye on a lot of things, but then there's other things we do not see eye to eye on. Yep. Godfather.
Have you seen The Godfather?
I have.
Do you enjoy the movie?
I don't remember enjoying it.
Now, okay. Speaking of,
we're looking for a new guest.
I'll get back to the Hateful Eight. As far as The Godfather's concerned, I do have plans on watching Godfather 2.
Which is better than the first
which I've heard, and I have seen clips of while it's been on, and I find myself watching it. But I will be watching it in its entirety and let you know what I think. But it seems like it's going to be better. Well, yeah, I want to.
Well, I have to
feel
say,
like I owe you something for Godfather.
I watched The Godfather in my 20s, and perhaps in my older years, I would appreciate it more. Because I feel like when you're younger, you don't appreciate things for their value.
You also have to be able to sit through long movies. Like that's a movie that takes its time getting. Like it's a very epic kind of takes its time getting to where it's going. And if you watch The Godfather 1 and you watch Godfather 2, if you look at the Al Pacino character at the beginning of the first one, and when he's like a soldier just back from the army, to where he is in the second one, like how his character transformation, it's amazing. It's crazy.
I do look forward to watching the second one. I just need to have 3 hours.
This is my favorite movie.
And, so I will be watching that soon, and I'll give you I'll do it on air. So it's raw. So
back to the Hateful Eight. Yes.
Speaking of long movies, The Hateful Eight. It is certainly a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a Tarantino movie
for sure.
Yes.
And it's lengthy.
And did you see the one where he had the kind of prologue where he talks about, like, there's that thing where he overdubs, like, what's happened?
Yes, which I thought was completely out of place.
Horrible.
That came. There's a part in the movie where there's some narration that comes in, and is that Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, that's his voice. His voice takes you completely out of the movie.
You're watching the movie, and this. In the movie's broken into chapters,
right?
And I don't know if it's chapter 3. It's one of the chapters where, out of the blue, just narration starts. It's like this wasn't even at the beginning of the movie, and it's totally in it. And you're right; it takes you completely out of the mood of the movie.
It's like in Django when he shows up at the fucking Australian bounty hunter doing the shitty Australian.
Yeah,
completely takes you out of the movie because he's a terrible actor.
Yeah,
his voice is the most annoying. Well, other than my voice, he's got the most annoying voice.
Oh no. And well, it's even worse when it's a narrator.
Yeah,
and you're in the middle of you're getting in the groove of this movie, and then this happens, and it's really not even necessary.
Yeah, I completely
it is not
agree
even necessary considering what he's narrating that's going down, because it's just not necessary.
Yeah.
Please comment what you think about it. And then,
I just did.
I'm watching the movie. I'm talking about our listeners. Our listeners.
I know. I was being ironical.
Yeah.
But thank you.
I'm a little off still with Nisha not here. I'm not 100% here. Sorry, Nish. So, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, this is okay, but I'm getting it's getting long. It's getting a little long. And
that's what she said.
All right. Thank you. See, Nisha would never say that. No. So thank you. Nothing I've ever heard.
She would, but not about what that was.
Oh boy.
So let me ask you a question, because he had the same mustache in both these movies. Was Bone Tomahawk? Was that better?
That was better. Okay. Yeah, it's shorter. And it's better.
Yeah. It's weird. I was talking to somebody about Quentin Tarantino movies, and I consider him, I consider Pulp Fiction, obviously, like one of the best movies. It changed how movies were made in the in the 90s or whatever. Like a lot of my friends will be, Reservoir Dogs was better, and I don't really like that movie that much. I think Pulp Fiction, and then I really enjoyed Jackie Brown. I thought that was a great movie. Other than that,
you don't like Kill Bill?
I don't dislike it. I feel like it could have been a 3-hour movie instead of a 4.5 hour part 1 and a part 2. But it was a good movie. But like Inglourious Bastards, like I enjoyed that until he changed. Like, have you seen it?
No.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert. At the end of the movie, instead of like Hitler ends up getting killed in the movie and all this, like he changes history. I just thought it was stupid because it started off really well. And then Django was a good movie. It was just hard to watch, man. All that slavery stuff and the violence. And,
DiCaprio was actually really good in that movie.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah. DiCaprio is... He's one of my favorite actors.
I still haven't seen The Revenant.
He actually slammed the glass, his hand on the glass.
Yeah, and he broke his... he cut his hand all up, and he kept
going. And the actors are staring at the camera like, are we doing this?
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing to watch.
There's a scene in Hateful Eight that's not that extreme, but when he busts the guitar that she's playing, that's actually some kind of vintage guitar that she's playing. Oh, really? And they never swapped it out for the one he was supposed to break. He grabs it and starts slamming it against this post, and it beats it all to shit. And that was the actual one. It's like, oh. And supposedly they had to go back and they had to film it from different angles because of the reaction of some of the actors was like, oh shit, so they had to show different shots so you wouldn't see their face. Anyway, so speaking of Bone Tomahawk and Hateful Eight, they both take an interesting turn.
Right.
There are some interesting things that come up in Hateful Eight that's like, did they really need to say that or show that? And then same thing in Bone Tomahawk near the end. But once Hateful Eight gets going and they're really getting into who's doing what, all these characters together and things start going on, it's more of an entertaining movie. But there's a whole lot, it's Tarantino's. There's a whole lot of dialogue for the first probably hour, hour and a half.
Which that was my favorite, like being an actor.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good dialogue
that part I loved. Yeah. And it had one of my favorite actors in it, the guy that played Boyd on Justified.
Oh, Walter Goggins is awesome. Yeah,
dude is the bomb.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. What did we talk about last week? Boyhood and
Birdman.
Like, we're real current with our movie topics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when did Hateful Eight come out? Like a year ago?
No, it was longer than that.
2 years ago. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's finally on Netflix.
There's this movie that I haven't seen that I'm looking forward to, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's a true story. I've never seen that movie.
So no, I mentioned trying to catch up more on Netflix and stuff, and it just happened to be on there. So I'm like, well, I'm going to watch it. There's some series I want want to catch up on too on Netflix. So I just saw that come across. I'm like, oh, finally, I've been wanting to watch that, and you can't really Redbox it anymore. And I don't know. I have a hard time paying like $5 or $6 to rent it online.
Yeah,
I'm like, nah, if I can get it for free or for $1 or $2 at Redbox, but Redbox, they only have the movies for a limited amount of time. But I'm raising a kid. I gotta look for a deal.
I thought you were rich now.
I know, you got the extra money now.
Well, yes, there's no daycare right now, but you still like.
Can't wait till this says "got off topic." Koozie I've got here.
Oh yeah, those are coming. Got off topic koozies. No, that's in my budget. That's in the family budget. She was wondering about that. What's that line item? I'm like, don't worry about that. Yeah.
I think we're looking for sponsorship here.
Oh, sponsorship would be fine too.
Sponsorship and locations.
We are eating Pringles tonight.
Pringles. It's funny you said it because when I was doing that, I was going to say, well, we're sponsored by Pringles, but I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, a whole bowl of Nestle candies.
Yes. And Shock Top.
He's drinking Shock Top. I'm drinking Lone Star, which Lone Star has been on the Big Bang Theory. So that's it's been in some places.
Well, good for Lone Star.
Well, I'm probably the only one that thinks that, but Yes. Let's do our topic.
Okay,
let's get into our topic. We have a very current topic that we all have an opinion on. And I'm glad that Diane is joining us tonight.
Yes.
Because she has probably dealt with some of this.
Yes.
And she can, obviously has a good opinion on it. What's our topic?
So our topic tonight is, should try to be current. It might not be current by the time you listen to this, but last week a story came out about Aziz and Sorry, about how a lady did an article about how a woman met him at a party and they got to talking, and then they both lived in New York, and then he hit her up for a date, and then they went out to dinner, and then he rushed to the dinner and he took her back to his apartment, and then basically he was just kind of all over her, and she was like, hey, let's just slow down, and then at some point he whips his his junk out, and she's like, well, I went down on him because I didn't know how else to deal with the situation, and then I was like, slow down. So then we went to the couch, and then he kept asking me how he wanted me to do him, because I'm not using profanity. That's how I phrase it.
Let's hear it.
No,
come on.
No. This profane free, Jason.
We'll get it all out in the system, because next episode...
I'm like a microphone, I'm going to pinch the cord, and then when I undo it, it's all this profanity is going to come flying out. And so anyway, how I heard about it was, there was an article saying Aziz and Sorry sexually assaulted this woman, and she was like, I felt sexually assaulted, and a part of the METOO movement and all this stuff. But I was reading through the article, and she said, I was giving him visual cues, and at no point did I ever hear her say, no, I don't want to do this, or try to leave. She just kind of accommodated him to try to. And so, to me, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, "Is that sexual assault?" Like she didn't at any point say no, and him continue. Like, she was just like, "I just try to, appease him, or whatever." And he's not a big guy. I feel like at some point she could have been like, "You know what? We're not gonna. I don't want to do this," and got dressed. And then the next day, she sent him a text saying, I know you had fun, or he sent her a text saying, hey, I had a really good time last night. And she responded, I know you had fun, but I didn't. It was incredibly uncomfortable for me, and I didn't enjoy it. And I'm telling you this so that next time you'll be better with other women. And he was like, and he responded to her. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I guess I didn't read the signs right. And I'm so sorry. So I guess my question is that sexual assault? I feel like everybody's getting lumped in with the Weinsteins, or the Weinstein, who's, even Louis C.K., there's a Dave Chappelle special that's just come out, and he was talking about how one lady was like, I was so, she was talking to him on the phone, and she was like, I was so upset because I could hear him masturbating, and he was like, just fucking hang up the phone. Just hang up. Yeah. So it's the Me Too movement is supposed to be this empowering movement where women are standing up for their rights, but all the people, I feel like they're going after everybody for everything.
Every dirty look.
So
I feel hesitant to talk about it because
I know it's...
I don't want to upset both of our listeners.
Please, we're not trying to do that to you two.
But I just want to, like, I want to understand because he may have acted, like, Aziz may have acted like a dick toward her and like, I want what I want, but like, it didn't seem like he was, like, she never at any point was like, no, I don't want this, and so, Diane.
Yes?
Where do you come down on this? And
where do I come down on
there
this?
Have been that's good.
Just pretend like you're in a massage parlor.
Yes.
We're not implying anything at all.
I have not reached over across the table. I have not made any inappropriate gestures. I hope you're not making eye contact with me to tell me to stop doing anything. I looked at him to tell him no.
I have blinked twice.
Where's Nisha?
So I'm curious what your opinion is on it, because there have been a number, obviously, since the Harvey Weinstein thing. Like, it has been a snowball. Everybody has come out with something, and they've run the gamut on things from actually being physically assaulted or raped to being looked at wrong or something.
Like Al Franken. Like,
it is such
we took a picture and he grabbed my ass, which I don't personally believe. But because he has that damning picture of him making a joke with the playmate where he's like kind of fake grabbing her boobs while she's sleeping. Like, I feel like he was screwed from the beginning. In the middle, in the meantime, like, there's a story out now that Trump was like basically paid off a fucking porn star that he was banging.
F-bomb.
She caught it too. I didn't even catch that.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Nancy.
Mom.
There's one.
I gotta eat some candy.
Diane is looking out for you. She caught it.
Well, you know what? It's out of the gate now, so
go ahead. So I'm curious your opinion, because there have been there have been so many stories that have come out on every end of the spectrum. And I know I have an opinion on it, but I'm curious what your opinion, and if have you dealt with, I'm sure you've dealt with it being a female, as most women probably have, unfortunately, in some capacity.
Well, I believe that as a female, you will endure a lot of this kind of behavior, and not to insult men, because I love men, but I believe that there's a very primitive instinct, and it's the look, like, and touch kind of instinct. And as a woman, most of the time, we do like to look nice and accentuate our assets, which could be very enticing to some men. And I'm not saying that behavior is okay, but I can see where it can be hard to suppress, and it's like kind of almost a tease in a way, and I don't want to say I get what they did, and say they did what was right, but you have to understand this is going to happen. If you wear a very low cut shirt and then you want to complain that a guy's looking at your chest, it's kind of ridiculous.
That's a good point, because you said it. A lot of women will go out of their way to accentuate things, and to maybe dress a certain way or doll themselves up a certain way. But so, what do they really expect from doing that? I'm not saying it's right that men may do something because of that, but women are certainly, at times, some women will do that just to get a reaction from men or to put themselves out there like that. Well,
I'll say too, I had a friend in California, and we're still friends, and she has gigantic boobs, and I'm, a hetero female. I love men, but we went to dinner one time and she wore a very low cut shirt, and honestly, the entire dinner I couldn't stop looking at her boobs because they were there.
Go on.
And I even told her, I said, you understand, it's ridiculous, because they were just very there. And I was like, so I can understand where some men can get in trouble, and it's kind of almost like a moth to a flame kind of situation. And it's it's this instinct and this prey drive that comes up, and I kind of almost feel bad for men sometimes, because it is very enticing. It's like that shiny lure when you're deep sea fishing and the fish is going to strike it, and you wear the tight skirt and they just want to smack it, So it's just, I feel bad. I I think that you have to constantly kind of play like a defense situation, and you have to kind of know that you're going into that situation. For the Aziz Ansari situation, she should have left. She didn't have to do anything. She should have just been like, I'm uncomfortable, I'm out. Yeah. Nice to see you.
No, I don't want to bang you.
I don't need to give you a blowjob because you took it out. I'd be like, you need to put that away, and thanks for dinner.
If I had known it was that easy. Walk into my apartment, whip it out. It's here.
I've had a guy whip it out on me before, and I was like, what do you expect me to do with that? Because I'm not doing anything with you. Like, so it's happened to me. I mean, you can say no.
For that.
Huh?
You're wrong for that. That poor guy. This guy. He probably got you a nice dinner.
No, he didn't. He did not take me to dinner. He took me to 400 Rabbits. He bought me like 3 glasses of wine. That does not equal.
I don't know what 400 Rabbits is, but the 3 glasses of wine.
Yeah, it sounds expensive.
No.
It's more expensive than 100
Alamo Draft House bar. No. He did not deserve a BJ because of 3 glasses of wine.
How many glasses of wine does it take to deserve a BJ?
How many glasses of wine equals a BJ?
Is it a bottle?
What kind of meal?
Steak?
What kind of an evening would you say? This is where we get off topic. Trademark. This is where we earn our money. So, what would you say? What would you say? Earns that. Well, now, of course, I know it's probably a number of dates to get a little further along in the relationship. Maybe not. That's up to you. You're looking at me like maybe not. You know.
Well, you're talking about prostitution essentially. So basically, you're saying dinner equals handy. Really good dinner equals blowjob. I mean, I don't know. Like, you're talking about like what's the weight of worth?
That's
versus service.
I didn't say anything. I think a woman should choose when she wants to give you a handy or a blowy.
We had a topic on an earlier show about what to expect when you're dating, and I know Jay and I, going back in our past, whether he should have been dating or not, I certainly was dating.
Got to throw that in, don't you?
You.
I was a whore. You could say it.
Oh, no. But
weren't we all whores?
You have more stories than I do.
I know. I was a whore.
We kind of discussed on what to expect when you're going on a date or going out. And my comment was, as a single male at the time, and you're young, you expect it like date one. Okay. You want to do what you can to at least. Well, if you don't go there date one, you want to have a sign that it's headed there.
Right.
At least pretty soon. So, that kind of ties into what you're talking about, is what dinner is worth and this and that. So, anyway, I thought it was funny that the topic we talked about. So,
I think it has to be organic, though. I think it has to be how the relationship progressed. Just because I go on 3 dates with a guy who is socially awkward on 2, and then finally on date 3, he reveals himself to be somewhat cool, doesn't mean I'm going to bang him that night. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't hurt.
So he should have been awesome on date 4 then. Saved it for date 4.
Well, he shouldn't have been socially awkward from
date 1 and 2,
right?
Like, but some guys are actually really, really nervous when they start to date. Like, they could be just it's weird how
they might be trying too hard. They might be worried about how it's going to go.
Yeah.
The place we went to after The Dark Knight Rises for my birthday.
That was
a Fox and something.
That was the
Fox and Hound.
It wasn't the Fox and Hound. That was down there. It was the.
It's gone now.
It's gone now.
Everything's
it was
gone.
It was something similar to that. Yeah, it was a bar downtown. Yeah.
And when you move a location, it's not the same fucking bar. Like,
no, it's
Anton's
not the same
is like
bar.
classic Anton's.
Yeah,
no.
You've been into like 20 locations. You're not fucking classic Anton's. You're just Anton's. Like even Ginger Man was in that awesome spot.
Right, that was a great spot.
Did Ginger Man move?
Yeah, they used to be over.
Well, its original. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long it's been since you've been downtown, but its current spot.
It used to be on the same street as like Fido.
Oh.
And it moved around the corner from Fido. And Fido's going out of business.
Oh, jeez.
That's where we went to the restroom.
Well, yeah, every time we went to the gay bars.
We hung out at the gay bars. We had to go across the street to the restrooms. Until we got comfortable enough to go ahead and go in the restrooms. We had to go in there together, of course.
Wait, did you go to Oil Can Harry's?
Oh, we used to go. We used to know a bartender there.
Do they do blowjobs in the bathrooms? Please tell me yes or no.
I don't know. We were in a stall together, so we didn't really pay much attention.
I don't know for certain, but I can't.
I would
say
not
no.
be surprised.
I can't say no.
I dated a guy who went into the bathroom at Oil Can Harry's and came out and gave me a kiss, and I swear there was something wrong about that kiss. I'm just curious about Oil Can Harry's now.
Well,
like,
okay,
I don't know. I mean, I never saw somebody blowing anybody in the bathroom.
Okay.
I did see somebody getting a blowjob on the back patio before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
we did sit on the back patio.
Yeah. There was. Speaking of someone who sexually harassed us in the past, our friend Jim.
Yeah.
There used to be a bar downtown called Chain Drive that was like the most hardcore gay bar, and we went there one night with like a bunch of us, and there's two patios. There's like one kind of relaxed patio, and then there's one patio where like anything goes. And like I was drunk with Jim, and we're walking, and I'm going to this patio. He's like, "Oh no, you don't want to go in there." I was like, "Why?" And he opens the door. Literally, people are just blowing each other left and right on this patio, and I'm like, "You could have just told me, bro. I didn't have to see it." But yeah.
The good old days.
Jay and I have had a number of experiences.
Before there were cops in bars. We're looking to arrest. Remember we went to Oil Cans and they had that strip that strip night or whatever?
I don't recall that. I do recall that.
It was men
actually.
and women, not the one that they try to get you to do.
Okay. This is
we went to a
strip mic?
No.
But people were coming up offering me money to get him to just walk out and take his shirt off. And I was like, Mike's like, whoa. I was like, well, how much money are we talking about here? Hang on.
Remember now, this was years ago. Years ago. I was a lot younger.
The first time we ever went to a gay bar together.
Here we go, Diane. We're going to hear this because
we used to work together. And
here we go.
And we were all going out with everybody, and we're like, oh, let's go to Oil Cans, because we knew the bartender was a stock person at our store. And Mike's like, no, man, I ain't going to no gay bar. And one of the chicks there was like, don't worry, I'll get him there. And I was like, okay. And I'm there with my girlfriend at the time or whatever, and then Mike comes walking completely shit-faced, like it was like nothing to him. He's like, oh yeah. And then he goes into the bathroom to mess around with this girl, and the DJ was this drag queen, and she kicks the door open. What are y'all doing in here? And the chick comes running out, and she drags Mike out, and he's all like drunk. He's like, are you a lover? He's like, nah, I'm a player. And then he was perfectly comfortable from that point on.
Yeah.
You just gotta break the ice, Mike.
That was Paris, by the way.
Was that her name, Paris?
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
The drag queen or
they
your
were
girlfriend?
having
The drag queen.
There was some show they had there.
What was the girl's name? Amy?
That night,
Amy and Ginger?
That night was Amy and Ginger, yeah. Yeah.
Mike almost had a threesome without me.
I did.
Dear.
I did. You got me.
Mike is flustered.
Look at this guy. I'm like,
wow.
Not only am I flustered, you got all these old memories going through my head,
I've never seen you flustered on this show.
Well, I'm trying to see where I can take this. Because you took it everywhere else. Jay's refilling my drink because I'm going to go into another part of that story.
Please do.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Your wife doesn't listen.
She doesn't listen. Nisha's not here, so screw it. Okay, so
like Nisha would care.
She wouldn't care. No, it's funny, that particular story. The only way I got into the actual gay bar, because back then I was real bad. I was like, I am not going to a gay bar. Jason's right. I was not.
He was.
I'm not going there. I'm not going to do that. Which is funny because the number of times we went after that, I can't even tell. You can't even come up close to it.
One time we were on the back patio of Oil Cans. He was throwing up in a trash can in the back, and some chick, wishful thinking, some guy came up and he started rubbing on me, and I was like, "You see that guy with his head in the basket? I'm with him." And he's like, "I'm sorry, man." And he walked away. Mike turned around. I was like, "What happened? Let's keep drinking." I was like, "You just threw up."
We used to go to Oil Cans, and when I was finally getting kind of get my feet wet with it, when I would need to use the restroom, though, we'd leave and go across the street to Fido. We'd use the restroom there, come back. Well, as I got a little more comfortable, I would then use the restroom in the gay bar, but you had to be smart about it. You could go in there, and you just have to know what to expect.
Timing.
If you're going to use a urinal, you have to expect, okay, somebody's going to probably fill on you, maybe rub your shoulder as they're walking by, because your urinal's usually right by the sink. So anybody coming through there, they're gonna grab you, they're gonna rub on you.
Like they touch your butt?
Yeah, well, yeah, butt, it's shoulder, back, and they're like, okay, I'm just.
This is me and Mike's METOO movement.
Yeah, this is our METOO movement. Yeah, where's
the gay bars?
Yeah. But so I'd be at the urinal. I'd be at the urinal. You know, you'd kind of get felt on a little bit, but I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just pissing.
Oh my god.
You know, now if you went to a stall though. That's when you want to bring somebody with you because a stall is where something would go down because every stall you saw in that place had multiple sets of feet.
At least 4 feet.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. Yeah. So if ever we need to
would go in there and one would pee and the other person would kind of hold the door shut.
Like, okay. And if somebody saw multiple feet in there.
On the door?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of.
Yeah, but, you know, in places
like bathroom locks where you just push it in
and the thing is, it's every bathroom. There's not really, you go into whatever bathroom, man, woman, you know, it didn't matter. You know, there was no gender neutral bathrooms back then.
It's true. The only other gay bar story that I'll tell right now is Mike's 30th birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. So, that epic 3-night.
That epic 3-night that was one night after the first night. You're like, I don't want to go out anymore. So Mike's 30th birthday, he decides he wants to go out for 3 nights. So we went to multiple bars before we ended up at the oil cans. And, like, we were going and people were buying us. This was back when you were drinking liquor. So people were buying us shots and beers. And
a lot of Patron.
Oh, fuck. So we end up at Oil Can Harry's. And Mike is so fucking shit-faced. He's standing there, but he's, like, all, like... I was like, and I'm like, you want a beer? He's like, yeah, man, I'll take a Bud Light. So I walk over to the bar tender and I'm like, hey, let me get 2 beers. Can I get 2 beers? He's like, yeah. And he's like, as long as you don't give one of them to that guy. And he points right at Mike.
Son of a
and I was like, yeah, sure, man, no problem. So I get the 2 beers and I walk over to hand one to Mike and he starts drinking it. And a bartender walks up to Mike and he's like, you got to go, man. You're too drunk. And he's all like, what? I ain't leaving. And he's all standing there. We call it defiant. He's like defiantly standing there.
I was told I was defiant. I don't know.
Like the bartender's like, dude, you gotta go, man. You can't be in here. You're too drunk. And so we're all, of course, the women that were people were with us at the time. Like, okay, yeah, we'll get him out. And Mike walks out. Where are we going? Well, I didn't finish my beer.
I just remember going, am I getting kicked out of this place? This is a gay bar. How am I getting kicked out?
Yeah.
It was not good.
Oh, that was a good. And then I remember going to work the next day wondering if you were going to show up. Was when we were working it.
Oh yeah,
sitting at my desk and I was like,
yeah, I did show up, but that was a rough day.
Yeah, it was. And then the next night we were supposed to go out. We went to Elephant Room.
We went to Elephant Room, a jazz club in Austin.
And Mike was like there, and he's like, I don't want to do anything after this. We're like, dude, we have people come in. I was like, no, man,
I'm good.
I don't want to do anything. I want to go out. And then Saturday night, we were out for like 10 minutes. Like we went to one bar, and Mike was like, I'm done.
Yeah, see, now I wouldn't even attempt that. Yeah. It's like, that's not going to happen. I'll do it one night.
You hurt yourself.
And that's, I'll do it one night, and that's it. Although, I'll say this here as we're recording. I do think we need to go back to oil cans.
Well, we've been talking about it with Nisha.
It's been a while. I know we've discussed it with her, but I think we need to. I'm not talking about maybe doing it, not a show from there, but I think we need to.
Yeah, I'm not doing a show from
reporting live from the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm in a stall right now. I'm going to see what happens, like Geraldo or something.
Yeah, exactly. I've got my
microphone. Okay, I'm pinned in the corner.
I think we need to go back to get an update on how it is now.
You know. Okay.
Is there less cocaine, more cocaine? I don't know.
Now they have those like cocaine. The gummy meth.
Oh,
like they look like
gummy meth now.
Well,
is that better for your teeth?
Yeah, and then they have like the Flintstone vitamin meth. So that's probably the cool thing to do.
I'm just gonna go drop a Tide Pod.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
Now you said we're on YouTube now. Well, we got to compete with all the Tide Pod challenges.
Start putting some stupid videos on there.
Yeah. When are we gonna do that?
I myself have taken 4 Tide Pods tonight, so.
Oh,
I'm way ahead.
A couple
of the
more,
game.
and she's going to be giving massages.
We are not sponsored by Tide.
Okay, so
if you want to sponsor us, Tide Pod, we are.
I'm happy with the all pods.
I'll take any pod.
Gain pods.
I'll take pea pods, anything.
So I do have an opinion on that too.
Please.
So
we're getting back to the Aziz.
Our topic. Aziz, right? Is that how you say it?
Aziz Ansari.
Aziz.
So his situation, I know from our past, Jay and I, we've been in that situation a number of times.
Where Aziz Ansari took us back to his apartment?
Not necessarily him.
Oh.
But we may have been in the situation with someone.
Yeah.
Although I never recall when I've been with someone, them during the act of maybe trying to do something, them saying like, "No, I'm not sure," this and that. Either way, if you've gone out with somebody and things happen consensually, and then you find out a year or two or three later that they think they were assaulted. That's
Is that how long it was? Was it a couple of years ago?
I don't think it was recently.
Huh?
No, it was a while ago because I think
really?
he's married and stuff now.
Is he? Wow.
Yeah, I think it was a little while ago. I just, there has to be a limit here to what you have. You have people coming out. Obviously, the Harvey Weinstein thing is not cool. But then you have people like, I don't know if you heard, Russell Simmons got outed a while back, but he actually assaulted someone.
Yeah,
he had his driver lock the girl
so she couldn't
the car,
not take her home, take her back to his place.
Forced them into the elevator up to the penthouse,
she
whatever.
was kidnapped.
Yeah, so
basically,
So you have stories like that, which is just
horrible
on one extreme, and then you have a story of someone that he may have looked at me wrong.
Right.
So you have these two extremes, and what I don't get is when you have a woman, and I don't think a woman should be treated anyway wrong, but if you have one coming out saying, "Oh, he looked at me wrong," or "He may have brushed up against me," and she's complaining, but yet this other woman was actually assaulted and raped.
Yeah,
right.
It's not the same.
Just
and that's
same.
another thing. They're treating everything like it's the same damn thing.
Yeah, and then obviously, like in this most recent situation, I mean, that was, from all indication, it was consensual. It was two people that had gone out. I mean,
right.
And then she told him the next day she was uncomfortable. He dealt with it at the time.
And he apologized, and he's like,
now years later, because of the movement, you're going to come out about it. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying women deal with a lot of shit every day. I get it, and they shouldn't. But you have two extremes.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the Al Franken thing. All these women are saying, he grabbed my butt while we were taking a picture or whatever. And I'm like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I won't stand for it. I like Al Franken.
I like Al Franken,
He's a good
too.
senator.
I mean, because Al Franken is good enough.
Smart enough.
He's smart enough.
And doggone it.
Yep. People like him. I like him.
So anyway, I kind of feel like that's where we are with this. It's I feel like it's getting. I mean, I don't want to discount anybody that's been legitimately assaulted, and I don't want people to feel like now they can't start coming out with their stories and stuff. But
that's the thing, though. It's like what Mike said about the two different levels. I mean, and there's assaulted and raped versus a weird encounter. I mean, there's different things. I've danced with a guy at a wedding and he got a hard on. So it was I just sexually assaulted? I mean, it's just these variations of
I don't know if you were. That's just fucking weird.
I would actually like to hear more about this story.
How were you dancing? Was it lambada or what's going on? Were you twerking?
No. It was an Usher song.
Oh, that's it. Oh boy, Usher. That's it.
But I'm just saying, there's the shit happens, and then there's the I was horribly taken advantage of kind of situation. So there's the two categories. I mean, there's all these 50 Shades of Grey.
Were you offended, or were you just kind of weirded out? What the hell is going on?
I wasn't shocked.
Or did you give him a massage?
No, I mean, he was sweet, but no, no, but I mean,
sweet guy, him and his erection.
I mean, stuff happens, but I mean, it's the 50 Shades, it's variations of things, so where does the Me Too need to stop? Me Too needs to stop at
I just wonder why, and it's unfortunate that these...
Where does it need to stop?
No, where's Me Too could grasp okay, I got a dirty look from a guy, I got, he okay, a guy was on the subway and he started feeling himself. Okay, so now was I just assaulted? You know, like, so there's this, like, so where's the line where the Me Too, like, is real and the Me Too is like, okay, that's just fucking life. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's even like the Louis C.K. stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. He
asked people if he could masturbate in front of them, and they were like, okay, because he was in a position of power. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is say, no, you can't fucking masturbate in front of me. Like,
use your words, ladies. Use your words.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
You know, and it's unfortunate, you know, why not do something about it at the time?
Right.
You know,
why wait for somebody who was legitimately assaulted?
You wait for years down the road to come out with a story. And, you know, there was another story a while back about the NFL Network and how a number of former NFL players may have the way they treated women. But yet these women still work there because you want the job, right? They have this nice job, you know, and you get paid well and you do it for a while, but now they're coming out with it. Well, why did you deal with that for so long? You knew that if that was happening for years, how did it go past day one?
Right.
You know, that shouldn't have gone past that, but yet it did. I mean, you know, nobody's, you know, to blame there, but if something happens, it needs to stop at that moment.
Well, I'll tell you, unfortunately, some women have to make a decision in the moment, and I think some women get scared that if they make the wrong decision that they'll have negative repercussions. So sometimes women, I think, placate the person to maybe have a better outcome than if they didn't placate them. I think that they imagine a possible worse outcome. And I think that's unfortunate because they're worried about the worst outcome. So they kind of play into it. And then, you know, they don't want to talk about it. So like, that's why it just kind of sticks and, you know, they stick it underneath and they just kind of just go on with their lives. And then like, I think the whole Me Too movement, like, gave a lot of women the platform to be like, yeah, that did happen to me. I mean, but, you know, I think going forward, it won't happen for.
Yeah, I feel like that shit has got shut down.
No, I mean, it'll always happen.
Well, I know. I think it'll always. I agree. It'll always happen. But as far as women dealing with it, I think they may not put up with it as much as they used to in the past. Well, I mean, they might. And it's unfortunate that they would still have to go through that because you're right. That will continue. That's not going to change. I
think that the women need to think of like dating as like drunk driving. So you need to make a plan ahead of time so that you don't get into that situation where you are stuck. So, you know, I mean, that's what I think happens is that you get into a difficult situation and then you just have to kind of deal with it because now you're in it. Whereas if you had maybe planned ahead and didn't get yourself in that situation, you know, don't go to his apartment, you know, like then you're not in that situation. So I think that's what ladies need to start thinking about
going back to the two extremes. When you have a girl that's pretty much forced into a vehicle and then forced into an elevator and then forced into an apartment.
She just got kidnapped.
Then you have someone who's made the decision, you know, to, okay, I'll go out with you or I'll go to your place. You know, how does she feel when you got these other women complaining? They chose to meet them or whatever, and this poor girl was trapped.
Well, there's a difference between giving in and being forced against your will. Yeah. So giving in is just kind of making that decision to where it's like, okay, this is going to be the easiest decision because it'll cause less friction. Whereas being forced against your will, there's nothing she could have done. Yeah. You know, like that's real. That's real assault. That's real rape. I mean, that's serious stuff. People giving in, that's you bad planning. You know, that, to be honest, that's bad planning. So that's where I stand on that. I love women. I love men. Let's just all get along.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I agree. and maybe going forward we can.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I think unfortunately they're going to have to deal with it in some capacity. Hopefully they just don't accept it as much as they used to. And maybe, hopefully it doesn't happen as often, Yeah. It shouldn't. I hope for my daughter's sake, it doesn't. Yeah. really, I mean, she's 6, so by the time she's in the, she's out in the world.
Harvey Weinstein's going to be dead by the time.
Let's hope things have changed.
We'll have solved it by then. Let's hope we're all more civilized.
Yeah, we'll see. So it's a good topic for us to talk about because it's current and it's going on. You hear about it every week. It was huge in 2017 and it just continues this year. So it's definitely something we need to.
When Oprah's president, this is all going to be.
Oh yeah, everything is cured when Oprah's president.
Yep.
She's looking for your vote, Nancy.
I don't think she'd vote for Oprah. All right, well, that was a good talk, man.
That's talk we needed to have.
Yeah,
it's been a topic that's out there.
It's interesting getting a hetero female perspective on the METOO. But we're running along, so normally we do rants, all of us, but because we've run long, we're just going to let our guests do a rant tonight, and then me and Mike will just make fun of it. or agree with it, most likely, because we're all the same ranting motherfuckers. Damn it, Candy. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, there you go.
That's only like 2, though. That's not bad.
Good. That's pretty good for a full show. Yeah.
You got to wean yourself off slowly.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm hoping on the next episode you just let it fly.
Okay.
Well, Diane, what do you have to rant about?
What do you got
because, we always have something to rant about.
Yeah.
So my rant is people who stand or stop in doorways or people who do not let other people get off elevators. I want to punch these people when they feel like they can just stop. And also, like, when you're walking in the mall behind someone and then they just stop to look at their phone and they don't move to the side. I'm sorry, but move the fuck over. Like, it's really so annoying and you should get hit. And and when you, like, decide to have, like, a group discussion and you're right by a doorway, this is when you need to be hit. Like, I feel like we should have the right to hit you. Yeah. Like, those are my just, I can't stand it kind of moments.
That's
legit.
Yeah. That's, much like back
all violence is always good.
Back in the day when they used to have smoking areas, they should have phone areas.
Yeah.
Because you're right.
True.
People will stop and look at their phone
to be like,
and just stop.
They'll just stop.
I mean, they could be on a sidewalk, in the mall, at wherever. They just stop. Like nothing else is going on around them. They'll look at their phone, and the world has to stop around them. But yet, you still got people moving all around you.
But see, like, I'm a fast walker, and so I'm going with the flow. Like, I'm flowing. And if you stop, I should be able to run into you or push you down. That's what I should be able to do. Like, I feel like that should be my right as a human being.
Right.
Totally. You should totally be able to just knock people down. Bitch, get off your phone.
But, sticking along those lines, I see that a lot in the grocery store.
Oh, my God.
You're down the aisle, right? And people have to just fucking stop. Now, I understand if you're stopping to check out the selection of breads or cereals. I get it. First of all, you need to know what you're going to get. You don't need to read all the fucking labels to find what you need. But if you are... I've also seen people having conversations in the middle of the aisle at the grocery store, and you're trying to get around them. And yet they have many areas in the store to sit down and have a conversation. Or just not the aisle. Just
to be out of the way.
Oh, yeah. So between talking or texting or something, just don't stop. Grab your shit and go.
Just move to the right. Move accidents to the right and just get out of the way and
move to the right. That is the rant. Move to the right.
That is a big problem.
And let people off the elevator. Nobody ever lets people off the elevator. They always just want to get in. And I'm like, this is full. You have to let us off to unload
That's
first.
True. Do they not realize when they get on that somebody in the very back is about to get off?
Yeah,
probably?
You have to unload somebody. If the door is open, it's not just for you. It could be somebody is getting off. So
there are people that probably deal with that every day. I don't deal with elevators very often unless I'm on vacation or something, or we're at some resort or something. But yeah, that is a problem.
Totes.
Totes my goat.
Trying to sound hip and jiggy. Why are you laughing?
I don't know what the hell you're saying.
I'm talking young person, man. I'm cool.
Well, then that's why I don't know what you're saying.
All right, well, that was a good rant. Mike agrees with you.
I do agree with you wholeheartedly.
Thank you.
Especially in the grocery store.
All right, well,
thank you, Diane, for sitting in.
I appreciate you. We should come back next week.
I will.
All right.
All right. We look forward to it, as I hope our listeners do.
Well, I'm Mike.
I'm Mike.
I was trying to see if you would say I'm Jason.
Well, I guess
I'm Jason.
Oh, boy. Diane.
I'm Diane, I guess, tonight.
Okay, I'm Diane.
I'm Mike.
I'm Niche.
And this candy bowl is Mike.
That is definitely me down there.
Yes. Thanks for listening, and hopefully you'll share us with your friends. Look us up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
We're now on YouTube.
We're on YouTube now.
Hashtag
Spotify.
Me Too.
Oh, hashtag me too.
Hashtag me
Please.
too.
Me too.
If you have
I'm
a
sure
problem,
you'll be hearing about us on there. At least me and Mike. You can see some wanted posters.
Oh, God.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Peace.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Hopefully we didn't offend.
But we probably did. Follow us on Facebook.
And Instagram.
This was
Got Off Topic. Anal.
Blowjobs.